Well, that sucked. As the Padres fall to 21-11 in one-run games this year. Chad and Jim with you on the wrap-up show. Well, the reason we're laughing is not at the way this game unfolded. It's because we'll get into it in a moment.
Yeah.
Twice in a week, Jim. Now, one of the times you're in Hawaii gallivanting, getting sun tanned. Twice in a week. Last Wednesday, they blow a 5-run lead to the awful, shitty Marlins, who were just swept at home by the Rockies. Like that should put you in Double-A. I think they were swept. They at least lost the series. And then a week later, you're taking on the most anemic offense in the sport right now, arguably, and you blow a 5-run lead with Nick Pivetta out there in your bullpen. Listen, Padres are still 8-4 in their last 12 games. They're still 10 games over 500. This team has played well on the whole, but man, you got a couple of games you wish you could have back. You can't blow 5-run leads twice in a week. Even though they've had some impressive comebacks over the last 7 or 10 days as well. But we're here to react to it all. This is the wrap-up show. Please subscribe here on Content for Padres fans. Smash the like button for us and follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We'll get to your super chats. We appreciate your support of the channel. Click the $ below the chat box if you want to make sure your comment gets on screen, if you just want to support our work, if you have a question, if you want to control the direction of the conversation. But I didn't forecast this. Just like last Wednesday against Miami, I chalked it up last Wednesday. I'm like, they won the game. They led 6-1 at home against the Marlins. They led 5-0 against the worst offense I have seen, and they lost tonight to San Francisco. So do you just chalk it up, bad game, or do you wonder how on earth they've lost these 2 games that they've lost over the last 7 or 8 days?
Well, you have to wonder, like, when you have games like last night where you should not have won that game and you won that game, and then you immediately the following night have a game where you should have won and you don't win. Right. You're just giving back last night's win. Like, it's now canceled each other out, So last night's win now, in like the grand scheme of things, when you look at it, it's like, well, they had a great comeback victory last night. Well, they also had a blown 5-run lead today. So like they cancel each other out, and you just, especially a 5-run lead. I can understand a 2 or 3-run lead.
Yeah.
But a 5-run lead, completely controlling that game. The Giants haven't scored 5 runs in like a year. I mean, their offense has been awful. And I mean, people were literally giving up on the Giants in this game.
Yeah.
Like 5-0. This game is over. It's done. And all of a sudden it just unravels for you there in the 7th. And Nick Pivetta at one point in this game, I think he retired 13 in a row.
He was cruising.
He was. So I'm not going to just be like, oh, it's baseball. Tonight was very frustrating if you're a Padre fan. Tonight was very frustrating, especially after what you accomplished the first 2 nights where, again, your offense is just like the Giants offense right at this point. Like, you just can't score runs, and you have 1-run hold on Monday night, and you have 2, the come from behind victory last night. And then tonight you just blow a golden opportunity up 5-0 in the 7th, and you lose to a team that can't score. Like, that is very frustrating. There's no way that I'm just going to sit here tonight and be like, oh yeah, we'll move on.
I agree. Are you surprised? Because again, it's easy to say now, but in real time, I'm like, Pivetta started in the 7th inning. And the reason I said it was not because of pitch count. He threw no pitches, but you allow a 2-out home run in the 6th, and it's a 5-3 game. So like, you allow the run in the 5th. Okay. You're cruising. It's fine. It's 5-1. Now you allow a 2-out 2-run home run in the 6th inning. You get out of the inning. You start the 7th inning. You've allowed 3 runs the last 2 innings. You have the Padres bullpen. I get it. They've been taxed. And they're going to be asked to do a lot of work against the Dodgers coming up, Arizona, whatever. And by the way, this Jason Adam thing, he's appeared in 31 of their 59 games. No, excuse me. They played 60. He's appeared in 31 of their 60 games. He's on pace to appear in something like 83, 84 games. That's completely unsustainable. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, stop.
So he's been used way too much, and he has not been as sharp, obviously. And the Giants made the bullpen pay here tonight. I mean, by and large, it's been a really good group. They've had hiccups, and that includes here tonight. That includes against the Marlins last week. So I don't even know where to start here tonight. I mean, they lead 5-0. Gavin Sheets is like Babe Ruth. And from that point to have Nick Pivetta pitching the way he did to lose this game, I mean, It's kind of unbelievable. But I was surprised Nick Pivetta came out to start the 7th inning. I didn't expect it, considering he allowed that home run there in the 6th inning. I thought that would end his night. It didn't. And maybe they got a little cute there, and eventually they paid for it later in the game.
They went 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. You had opportunities in this game to add on. I think looking at one part of the game, like when Brandon Lockridge gets picked off after he stole second base, and the very next hitter hits a single to center, and he would have easily scored. Like,
always happens like that.
Always happens. Mental error from him. So that was not good. You had other opportunities to score in this game, and you just didn't get the job done. And you had great nights from Gavin Sheets. Fernando Tatis Jr. quietly had another good night in a row.
The Lord.
If you add last night's game and tonight's game, he's potentially heating up here.
Hopefully.
3 for 5 tonight, 2 runs scored. It just, I don't, when you have the bullpen like you have, and you're up 5-0, you have to make that stick. And like you said, losing 2 games when you have a 5-0 lead to awful offenses, it just cancels out what your comeback victories. Like if they had 2 comeback victories this week, and then they had 2 blown 5-run leads this week, it doesn't feel the same. It just cancels each other out.
This remains a team. A couple of things that you made me think of. A couple of things. This remains a team that's actually under 500 since 14-3. Now 14-3 counts. So I'm not saying they're not good, because they are good. They're 10 games over 500. Right. But they're under 500 since 14-3. And I still would argue that what's to come is more challenging than what they've done. And why I say that is they play the Dodgers 13 times in the final 100 games. They have them 7 times coming up. And it's not just the Dodgers, like this Milwaukee series where Milwaukee's completely rolling. It just felt like you had a chance to take command of the 17-game stretch. If you start at 3-0, you're going 9-8 or better in this stretch. It just feels like that. Like you have the snowball going. You're 12 games over 500 for the first time this year. If you win here today, like there's no turning back. They're not all of a sudden going to lose 8 straight. It didn't feel like. But you give this game away. Now the Giants, in theory, could split this series by winning tomorrow. And it's only getting tougher. I feel like you're at the bottom of the mountain, and Milwaukee is tougher. LA is tougher. At LA is tougher. So, and by the way, Xander Bogarts, I know he hasn't done anything. Believe me, we're the first to know he hasn't done anything. But you don't want to be in a situation where he hurts his shoulder again. He was just quoted post-game as saying it's the same thing he dealt with a year ago. He can't hit. He has no power. He's now injured. He left this game. You're dealing with the King and Darvish situations. Like you're on a knife's edge a little bit. I mean, you're 10 games over 500, but like, is this real, or is this a house of cards? I mean, I feel like people are going to think that. I think a fan would be thinking that. Is this sustainable, or is this something that's ticking and going to come back to earth? I think that's a fair conversation. I'm not saying tonight's the end all be all. It's not. Nor is the Miami game the end all be all. But you're one bad series away from things looking different. You get swept in Milwaukee, or you get swept by the Dodgers in one of those 2 series, and things are going to look a lot different. So they're on a little bit of a knife's edge where they can't afford for that to happen, is my point.
I don't think it's a ticking time bomb. I don't, because presumably you're going to get Michael King and Yu Darvish back this year. If you stay relatively healthy, then I don't feel like it's a ticking time bomb. I feel like it's just a weathering of the storm, and with the 14-3 start, like you mentioned, that gives you the opportunity to have these weather the storm, go 9-8 in this 17-game stretch. You're fine.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world, but if you didn't start 14-3 and 9-8 stretch, you're probably around 500 right now.
Right.
Or 1 game over or 1 game under. And again, that's still not the end of the world, because they were 50-50 last year, but still, it would then require them to go on another just insane run like they did last year. And I just don't see lightning in a bottle striking every single season at the midway point when, if you are a 500 team. So you have to play better in other months before that to not put yourself under this pressure. Like, we got to play 650 baseball the rest of the way.
Let's get to the first super of the night, guys. If you are here, please subscribe. And if you are here, we appreciate your support of the channel. If you're here live, thank you for the super chats. Click the $ below the chat box like Tyler. If you're here on replay, thank you for the super thanks. Padres fall kind of inconceivably in San Francisco, 6-5 tonight. A wild finish, by the way. We'll get into that. The play that was made in right by the Giants, by Ramos, only to be followed up by the misplay in left that gave the Padres had a golden silver platter opportunity. And then the double steal, they were a base hit away from a lead there from Gavin Sheets, and they couldn't come through in the ninth inning against Randy Rodriguez. Tyler, thank you, man, for the very generous super chat. He gets us started tonight by saying Jackson Merrill looks off. I know he's young, but he's hitting .236 since returning. And the more concerning thing is he struck out a staggering 19 times since coming back. I don't hate mixing up the order. I think it's fair to say that Jackson Merrill has looked a little more human-like over the last handful of weeks. He's had some good moments too. He's only homered once, I think, since coming back, which means he's only hit 5 on the year. But the thing is, the reason he looks young is he is young.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he is coming off an injury, and he is going through something like all players do over the course of a career or even a season. So how does he bounce out of it? But that is somewhat telling. .236 since coming back with 19 strikeouts is not the Jackson Merrill we saw last year, nor the first 10 games this year, Jim.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying not to look here. So when did he come back?
Really wasn't even that long ago. When was it? There's that.
It was against the Yankees.
25 games out. He missed 25 games.
It was against the Yankees, and
That's right.
I remember he was just like red hot when he came back. Like I'm looking at his box scores right here. It's like 2 hits, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 3 hits. And then May 13th, from May 13th on, he's just not looked right. Now, again, he's got a 4-game hitting streak. He's not like producing per se, but I mean, he's having like 1 for 3 nights, 1 for 4 nights, 1 for 3, 1 for 5, 1 for 4, 2 for 4. Like he's not putting up a bunch of offers like Xander or anything. You know, he's
right.
You know, in May he hit 298 with a 777 OPS. Not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's fine. It's good, but it's not special.
All right, and this month he's hitting 294 so far. Small sample size. Yeah, small sample size.
Yeah, very small.
But I do agree there. He doesn't look like himself. Like there's moments that he does look like himself, but he's swinging at pitches that he wasn't swinging at the start of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
And so again, I'm not like concerned with Jackson really. I'm not. Like he went into that slump, and I don't think I think he's kind of out of it. He's still not having those crazy games, like those like 3 for 4 with like a 2-run double and like a home run, but he's getting on base, he's getting hits, and I think he's kind of weathered his storm of, his slump. And yeah, he's still hitting 323 on the season, so it hasn't nosedived like it had for Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I mean, I just looked it up. He struck out 101 times last year, and he did that in 593 plate appearances. Coming into tonight, he had struck out 30 times in 143 plate appearances, 2 more strikeouts tonight. He's probably pacing for 30 more strikeouts than last year, which is somewhat concerning. It's not a crazy, ridiculous number.
No.
Now, again, he's not going to have the same number of plate appearances this year because he missed 25 games. But yeah, clearly he's been swinging through a lot more pitches than he did earlier this year, and probably even did in 2024. I think this is easy to say in hindsight, and I agree with Rocket. I mean, we've made the point, and I think you're right. He said Pivetta shouldn't have gone out for the 7th inning, and I do think that's fair. I mean, you're nursing a 2-run lead on the road, and you've got an elite bullpen. You've got pitchers that were down yesterday now back available to you in Jason Adam and Robert Suarez. Yet Nick Pivetta still starts that 7th inning. Now, these relievers have probably been overused. The Padres have won more than lost. Therefore, you've turned it over to your good relievers more often than your B team relievers. But yeah, with the benefit of hindsight, it's hard to manage. I will say that. Like, it's easy to be critical of Mike Schilt here, and I'm being critical of Mike Schilt. It's hard to manage. And with benefit of hindsight, I don't think Pivetta starts the 7th inning, but he did, and they lost the game, and it probably played a role.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's undefeated.
Yep, always.
So do that, but I'm sure Schultz thinking was the home run he gave to Chapman was just a bad pitch.
Yep.
And looking at the body of the work he did the entirety of that game, there was confidence to leave him in, and that he was just looking at the Chapman home run as a fluky bad pitch. Because it wasn't like it was hit 450 feet. I mean, the thing barely got over the wall.
Yeah.
Now, again, it's Oracle Park, and that park is just awful for power hitters. And if that ball gets in the air, that wind takes it back. So maybe it would have gone farther if not for Oracle. But still, that's kind of what I think Schilt was thinking. And then we always say, just get to the guys you want to get to. You want Jason Adam in there. It's not like he had Wandy Peralta in the game.
Yep.
So he had the guy he wanted. I think everybody would agree they would want Jason Adam in that situation.
Yeah,
definitely. You just gave it up. You're not bringing in Suarez there. You're not,
No, of course not.
Maybe you have Jeremiah Estrada up, but I mean,
I hadn't looked at Ben Fadden's bullpen usage chart.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about availability there. I kind of like going with Adam. I mean, you have to. It's the 7th inning. The game's on the line. You turn it over to Jason Adam in that spot. It didn't work. Padres then had chances, by the way, to tie it up or take a lead in the 9th inning. They just didn't.
Hold on.
What's that?
Hold on. I want to bring up this comment here. Sorry, I'm e-breaking the show.
Yes.
Yes. I want you to look at me. All right? Hold on.
Oh, God.
Look at me. Hold on. Let me move this out of the way. Xander Bogarts, it's the worst contract in the history of the San Diego Padres. Period. There will not be a day that I don't say that. End of discussion.
Can you pull up the Hosmer stat
God.
compared to Bogarts through this many games in the Padres uniform? It actually puts it into really good perspective how bad Xander has been, and it makes Hosmer's contract look decent.
Dude, it's incredible. So let me pull this up here. Shout out Nick Lee on Twitter. He put out this stat today. First 324 games in their Padres career. Eric Hosmer, widely viewed as have the worst contract in the history of the Padres. 43 home runs, 166 RBIs, 286 average, 802 OPS with a 115 WRC plus in his first 324 games in a Padres uniform. Xander Bogarts, 33 home runs, 123 RBIs, 271 average, a 734 OPS, and a 106 WRC plus. The worst contract.
He's been a lot worse than Hosmer to this point.
An abject failure of a deal. The guy is completely washed. Okay. I would love to be wrong. I would love for him to put up back-to-back all-star seasons, but the likelihood of that happening is very slim. Guy's injury prone. Guy can't hit for power. He does nothing that resembles anything he was in Boston. He brings nothing to the team other than some good defense and some nice base running, but give me a freaking break. The guy is a failure of a contract, and frankly, they might be better just with him on the bench injured right now.
I mean, he's not going to be here 11 years, nor anywhere close to it if he continues to play like this. I mean, he might be lucky to see a 6th season playing like this. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of options because of what they pay him. I don't disagree with anything you said. It's definitively the worst contract. There were a couple of people yesterday trying to excuse it because of his fielding, which, by the way, is only average. It's not great. It's fine.
You can find 20 other better. I can find 20 better shortstops.
And his base running, which again is average. He's a fine runner, but he's not a lead in any category. Well, Johnny's 11 for 11 in steals. Yeah, because nobody's concerned about him running. Nobody thinks he's going to steal 40 bases in a year. He's not going to steal 20 probably this year.
I can steal 11 bases.
25.
I can steal 11 bases.
The bases are now the size of pizza boxes, and you can't throw over.
Right.
So the sport has changed in that regard. Xander Bogarts, it's not that he's failed to live up to the contract. He hasn't come close to the contract. I mean, failed to live up to is a disservice to the contract. He, by the way, wasn't offered the contract. The Padres offered it to him. He signed it. So, it takes two to tango here. It's not solely on Xander. It's not that he's a bad person. It's far from the truth. He is a good he is obviously a good leader. He's won at a high level. He's had some ridiculous seasons in the major leagues. Unfortunately, it's not been in San Diego, nor is it likely coming in San Diego. The odds suggest, if you go to his Fangraphs page, the numbers suggest they'll get worse moving forward. Not necessarily in 2025, but certainly in 2026 and beyond. That's how age works. That's how players work, by and large. So I think the rational way to look at it is, inarguably, it is the worst contract in the history of the San Diego Padres. And truthfully, it's probably like, is it a top 5 awful contract for a position player in the history of the sport, with like a Rendon, with who was the freaking slugger with the Orioles that literally couldn't hit the ball?
Oh,
who am I talking about? Come on.
I actually saw something today. The worst contracts in every like major sport. It was Anthony Rendon. I think the Nationals are still paying Steven Strasburg.
Right.
Chris Davis, that's his name.
Chris Davis, yep.
Xander was, I think, 3rd or 4th on the worst contracts in baseball.
Ever?
No, yeah, ever.
Yeah, I think it's probably fair. I bet it's probably accurate.
Javi Baez is up there, but Xander is definitively one of the worst contracts in the sport and the worst contract in the history of this franchise. And it's like not even close. Eric Hosmer, you're off the hook, buddy.
You're off the hook, man.
You are off the hook, dude.
Dude, do we understand what $280 million signifies? 12 of the organizations have never signed a player to like a $100 million deal. So maybe there's no risk. Like Pittsburgh's never signed a player to a $100 million deal. But think about that. $280 million cross off the Pirates and the Athletics and the Marlins and half of these teams have never even offered that type of contract. When you offer a deal like that, you have to produce. Now, there's a lot of baseball examples where players don't. Pujols and Anaheim, right? Trout's second contract here. There's a lot of examples of guys not coming through, but the Bogarts money was wasteful, unfortunately, and it's impacting them. It's impacting. You say, well, John, he's been fine, or he's not killing them. They're 35 and 25. But yeah, but his money ties up left field. It ties up catcher. You know what I mean? Like it limits you. If you can only spend $100 in the grocery store, you have to make choices. So they spent a lot of their $100 on Xander Bogarts, is my point.
You ruined Xander. You hurt Xander tonight. Remember you pulled this card last night?
We predicted that.
Also, real quick, because I'm just flamethrower tonight. So hold on. Don't you claim you're Murray's like daughter or something? I really don't even know who you are, but I think, yeah, like who I feel like you've been in the chat and you're like just like the same person acting as like multiple people. That's just what I think. I think this person's account is the same person, but they've acted like multiple people in our chat. That's
controversial.
Anyway, we'll move on.
Let's move on. HBBV, I wasn't even going to pull this up, but I did after that whole rant. He says, I don't even know what this means.
Yeah, I don't believe you, hip clip, but we'll continue.
Needs something, and then Tatis's baby mama needs to leave San Diego. Okay. Thank you for the super. Tyler, thank you again for the super. He says, double clicking on Toddy. How do we feel about moving him off leadoff? I feel like Luis then Fernando might look a bit better for now. Just a thought. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Luis Ariz has been a leadoff hitter for the bulk of his career, and Fernando Tatis Jr. is hitting the 2-hole a ton in his career. I don't think they'll do it. It's not a bad idea at all. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think it's a bad idea either.
I think that we are starting to see signs of Fernando Tatis Jr. getting out of his slump the last couple nights. Don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
I think tonight especially was the first night in a while that you saw glimpses of Fernando like he was at the beginning of the year. And that's great. And I hope that continues. Because man, would it be nice to see what like this team, like a hot Tatis would do again. And this is historically his best month too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
Hopefully that continues and hopefully history repeats itself. So yeah.
Things getting spicy tonight. I want to get back to the chat in a moment and the super chats. Guys, if you're here, subscribe. If you're here, thank you for the super chats. Click the dollar sign below the chat box. Just an inexcusable loss tonight. And now we're talking about everything, including the loss. We do want to thank the title sponsor here of the wrap-up show, Mark Nimitz, because he's been with us since day one and because he's a great insurance agent. And if you have any insurance needs, let Mark hook you up. We'll save you money. In addition, when you need him, he will be there for you. Trust me. I've got homeowners, life insurance, and earthquake insurance through Mark. You can as well. He does auto as well. If you have any auto insurance before you renew, make sure to get in contact with Mark Nimitz. Lifelong Padres fan, native San Diegan. If you support this channel, please support Mark Nimitz. Click the link in the description down below. Get free quotes online. Call Mark. He'll talk to you about the Padres. He'll provide you with free quotes as well. If you have an insurance need, before you renew, get in contact with our title sponsor. Trust us, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance.
Yeah, all his information is on that ticker below. mnimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
All right, let's get back to these supers. Let's get back to this. Just a kind of a wild night. Padres blow a large lead, lose in the Bay, and now they'll try to win the series on Thursday afternoon. Iron Swan, thank you. He says, John did pull that Xander card yesterday. Yeah, we briefly touched on that a moment ago. I don't if I had the power, I mean, Jim's got the power on Machado with the tweets. Do I have the power on the players with the cards?
Like the opposite, like every card you pull, like that player just sucks.
It's kind of held true. Now, I bought Machado's rookie card, and he's been really good. But I haven't showed it on screen yet, I don't think, though. Every card I've shown on screen, that player has tanked.
So don't show Machado.
And I did just pull a Jason Adam earlier today.
Oh my gosh. Stop pulling cards, dude.
I'm kidding. I didn't pull a Jason Adam.
Oh. I was like, oh no.
I did pull a Pavetta mid-6th inning.
You're just pulling cards in the game. You pull like a Jason Adam card because of a 3-run homer.
Boom.
Yeah.
No, if it was that simple, Iron Swan. If it was only, I mean, dude, we did like exorcisms. I mean, we've done everything for this damn team. It's only 60 games in.
I know.
Gosh, so no, if it was only that simple. Oh, you know what I was going to say here tonight is that, again, I thought they were going to take advantage of the 9th inning like they've done a lot here in San Francisco.
I did too. Yeah,
they got the misplay, the Adames play in left where the two players nearly collide. That's the type of play that we've seen the Padres cash in on a lot this year, a ton. And then Merrill, no. They went to Randy Rodriguez, who's been amazing. And Merrill strikes out, and then Sheets pops out. It happens. He had 4 RBIs in the game. Gavin Sheets is on a complete binge. He is such an impactful piece. Honestly, Jim, I could argue right now he's probably their most feared slugger in their lineup, including Manny, just because he's been so impactful. He's just been driving in runs as well as anyone. He leads the team in RBIs. I think he has 38 right now. So I thought they'd find a way in that spot. I really did, but it doesn't always work like that. I mean, if it did, it would be a more simple game, obviously.
Like Gavin Sheets has a chance to make the All-Star team as a DH this year.
How many RBIs is he going to have at the All-Star game? He's 55?
Maybe more. I mean, around there, maybe, if he continues to play like this.
Huge number.
Like, I did not expect to say that Gavin Sheets was going to be this important to this team this year. But
if the All-Star game was tomorrow, who would be on the team?
From the Padres?
Yeah. Not everyone. Manny, Sheetsy,
Suarez, Sheets. I'd have to look at like all the other.
It's possible though,
but it's possible. I think the 3 Padres would be. Well, that doesn't have to be 3; it could be more. But
yep.
I think there's a chance for 3 right now, and that is Manny, Sheets, and Suarez.
Are we missing anyone? I mean, I think Toddy could be like a voted in type player, although I don't really think he will be. Do you?
No. I mean, Jackson Merrill would have a shot, but he's played a lot of games.
Yeah, so maybe
a lot of games there.
Yeah, maybe. I'm with you.
Jason Hayward would make it.
Maybe Wade or Gurriel. Would they reactivate him or bring him back? Sign him to a contract, 1-day contract for him to play in the game? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good point from Faulty Spark. No, I'll stay away from Gavin Sheets.
Don't pull a freaking Gavin Sheets card. You'll ruin his life.
Yeah, no, that's the last thing I want to do.
Can you pull some Dodger cards so you can like mess them up?
I mean, every time I do, my son throws them in the trash.
Uh,
Let's see. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, what else is there in this game? Like, again, I think what's encouraging in a loss is Fernando Tatis Jr. Tatis matters way more than any one game. So if you actually get him pointed in the right direction, that's obviously a huge win for this team. I don't even know. I mean, this lineup remains, again, it's been fine. I mean, the 5 runs was encouraging. A lot of that is Gavin Sheets. The 12 hits is encouraging. I think they had 10 or more hits in just 2 of their last 21 games coming in. 10 or more hits in 2 of their last 21 games coming in. They've now had 10 hits in back-to-back games. So I'm encouraged by that. I guess my question is, I go back to what I said to start the show, Jim. Do they have enough to navigate 162 games with the pitching injuries and just with the offensive ineptitude at times?
Yeah,
Again, I'm not saying it's 2021, but I guess what I'm saying is I'm not convinced it's 2024. Is that a fair, right? I mean, everyone's probably could say that. But like for those that just think we can just snap our fingers and they're going to win 90 games and they'll be the 4 seed or the 5 seed and it's going to be a really nice, clean year and it may be. Part of me says that. I got like 2 little things on my shoulder. One says, okay, it's 2024. They're going to win 90 games. The other is like, is it? Like you're going to be without Joe Musgrove, Michael King, and Yu Darvish and just pick up 94 wins this year and just navigate that, right?
Well, I'm not looking at like, can they navigate the rest of the year like this? I'm looking, can they navigate
2 months,
a month until you get King and Darvish back,
right?
And make maybe a upgrade somewhere. Go out and trade, get a left fielder, go get another bat. Like why are we waiting? Like go make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then if Tatis, plays better and gets hot again, and same thing with Jackson Merrill, Luis Ariz, like they have enough. Gavin Sheets, like when you look at the top, when they look at their lineup, all right,
yeah.
I mean, if I just read out the names, and we've done this before, like Tatis, Ariz, Manny, Merrill, Sheets, Jake. A lot of teams would take that. A lot of teams would take that. The pitching is where the issue comes in, because can Ryan Bergert and can Stephen Kolek and Randy Vasquez, can they hold down the fort until you get King and Darvish back? And I think if you're asking them to hold down the fort for the rest of the year, then yeah, that's not it's not happening. If you're asking them to hold down the fort for 3-4 weeks.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
You can do it. So I'm not looking at it as like a long-term thing. I'm looking at it more in the short term. Can you weather this storm in the here and now? And in the next 17 games, go 9-8. You go 9-8, I feel fine. And you don't have any injuries, and yeah. So I'm trying to shrink this thing down instead of looking like I'm just looking. What is it? I'm looking micro instead of macro.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to look at it. You're probably right. I had a counter to it, but I forget what my counter was. It's probably the right way to look at it. I am concerned also about the bullpen usage, Jim. I am. I don't know what the formula is here with less off days. Like, I'm surprised Jason Adams appeared in 31 games. Like, is he going to stay healthy and appear in 85 games? Is he going to be effective appearing in 85 games? And by the way, if he's not appearing in 80 games, which he isn't, trust me, then who is picking up his slack when he actually ultimately appears in 66 games? And there's now 15 games where you're looking elsewhere for 7th and 8th inning work. Now, maybe they have enough with Estrada, Morahone, Matsui, right? The pieces that surround these top flight relievers that maybe they add, to your point, in July. It feels like you're on a bit of a collision course. I don't know what the word is. It's just like, what's the deal here? Are you really going to use your high leverage guys 80 times? And that's the other thing. You're using these pitchers in leverage situations and you're turning to them every other game. That's a tough combination.
Well, when you're playing so many one-run games.
True. Okay, we talk about that real quick. Actually, let's do it after we talk about our friends over at SeatGeek. So the Padres fall again 6-5 here tonight in San Francisco. Make sure to get to Petco Park when the Padres get back home on Monday, taking on the LA Dodgers. It might be a big series. And you can take $20 off your first order at SeatGeek of $50 or more with promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. You're getting $20 off thanks to our friends at SeatGeek. That's right. You heard me right. $20 off your first purchase of $50 or more with promo code PODSWRAP. Just click that link in the description, download the app, have the code automatically added to your account. You can use it later. And we do want to thank our friends over at SeatGeek. But Dodgers and Padres beginning Monday night at Petco Park. You can only imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like. You can get inside for about $100. You can get in for less at Gallagher Square, but this is with fees. You can take $20 off with that promo code. So make sure to take advantage of these offers. Anything, by the way, not just Padres tickets. Anything you're looking for, take $20 off your first order of $50 or more. Thanks to our friends at SeatGeek.
And with SeatGeek being MLB's official ticket marketplace, your tickets, they're fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. SeatGeek, they have your back always. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So when you're looking for tickets on SeatGeek, just look for green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. Use our promo code PODSWRAP, as John said, PADSWRAP, to get $20 off your first order of $50 or more.
So, yeah, I probably need to text Kevin Acee. Because it's not, listen, as someone that's like done a lot of like broadcasting and like uses stats all the time. Like if you ever listen to our show or the wrap-up show or me call a game play-by-play, I'm constantly using stats to support an argument, right?
Right.
But you can get them wrong. Like it happens. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things you can reference. Kevin has been writing in his newsletter that the Padres have among the best records in one-run games, right? And I even put out a tweet.
He said word for word, pull this up. The Padres are 21-10 in one-run games, the most victories and the second best winning percentage in the major leagues behind the Guardians at 18-8. Well, here's the thing. That's all wrong. Because they flashed on the screen tonight. The Padres were 13-5 in one-run games this year. And I immediately text you like, bro, what? Because we've been running with that stat all day because you tweeted that out. And we had Kevin on today. And we've been talking about that.
You referenced it today.
And then
I looked up interview.
And I looked at the Guardians. Guardians have only played like 14 or 13 games of one-run ball. Not 26.
Well, the Padres, why would I go? Sometimes you just hear something you believe it's true. Like, did the Padres really play 31 one-run games before tonight?
Didn't even think about it.
They've only played 60 games. How have they played 32 one-run games? So anyway, it's not accurate.
It's not close. So I feel bad for Kevin because when he finds out that it's wrong, he's going to beat himself up for it. Like, you know it. He even told us today. He was like referencing for like when he gets to something wrong in his newsletter, he beats himself up over it, comparing himself to like when Fernando Tatis Jr.
That's why
strikes out.
I don't want to text him because I feel like someone's probably told him because they pulled up that stat on television, and I can't be the only one that I feel bad saying something, but I feel like I should say something.
I think you should say something. And then just blame me.
No, I'm not going to blame you. I mean, it's not his fault because, again, as in anyone can do it. When this is your job and you use numbers as often as someone like Kevin uses them or broadcasters use them, it's going to happen.
I'm just my question is, okay, got it wrong. We get things wrong.
Where are you pulling it from?
But where are you pulling it from? Because like it's not even close.
Well, I'm looking right now at schedule results. There's where are you pulling it from? Is there anything they're 21-10 in this year? Like games decided by 3 runs or less, I'm wondering.
Was it something maybe like with the last 2 months of last year combined with the first 2 months of this year?
Oh, like 21-10 in their last, that's maybe.
But again, I read it, so I wanted to see like, they're 21-10 in their last 31, one-run games dating back to last year, but that wasn't it.
Here's I got another stat for you tonight, okay? But this one, I'm going to give you something that's going to blow your mind. Mm-hmm. And this one's accurate, I'm pretty sure, because I saw it tonight. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Tony Gwynn has 3,000 hits.
What?
Yeah, he had 3,000 hits. And the way I can verify it is they had a promo that ran between half innings where they showed Tony Gwynn's 3,000th hit. So I wasn't aware. But then tonight I saw it for a first and only time watching Padres games. But they showed the highlight of his 3,000th hit, which I don't think anyone's ever seen. Have you ever seen that before?
You know what? I was thinking the exact same thing. I go,
It's amazing.
Hold on. I think I turned to Aaron. I go, hey, babe, did you know that Tony Gwynn had 3,000 hits in his career?
And this is what it looked like when it happened.
And she's like, wow, I've never seen that before. And then we watched it 75 more times.
Over the last 10 seconds. How many times are they going to show the same clips between every half inning, guys?
Look, the production of Padres.tv is
could use some upgrades.
It could use some producing.
Yeah. But no, the stat thing, I can't text Kevin now, and he's going to have his newsletter out in the morning. I'm not texting him right now.
But if he texts him now, then he can fix it in his newsletter.
Someone just tag him on social.
But he doesn't look at like stuff like that.
I know. He doesn't use as much as we do. Hold on. Let me read Kevin's post-game article.
Oh, I just saw it because I just got a notification.
He doesn't reference it, does he?
I'm wondering if he does.
Jason Adam took responsibility. So everybody that played tonight did what they needed to come out on top, except for me, really. So it hurts a little bit. He's been really good. So it's not solely on Jason Adam. Let's be honest with each other.
Yeah, I don't see any stats in here.
Just looking for some quotes to see if there's anything
other than the fact that Schulte wanted to kill Kevin.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an interesting back and forth if you guys were watching post game where like Kevin was just like, hey, Giants have come back in other teams this year. Where, was that a so that was always a possibility. And Schulte was like, yeah. It was just kind of just interesting. I mean, Schultz, it's 5 minutes after a game. It's an excruciating loss. It's a game you should not lose. I'm sure Mike Schulte takes some of that blame. That's what happens when you lose. It's going to fall on the manager,
Right.
And it's fallen on him a couple of times when you were away, Jim, like referencing that Miami game. That's going to fall on the manager. How do you lose a 6-1 lead to the Marlins at home? Like, someone's got to take some blame.
Yeah, and Mike Schult's not good with criticism. Like when he gets criticized for something, he's not good with it. He's a sore loser. And I get it. When you're a competitive person, more often than not, you're probably a sore loser. Find me a good loser and I'll show you a loser.
Yeah, that's I like that line.
Yeah, sometimes I have good stuff. But
that was great.
Yeah. So when they lose, it's not easy to criticize Mike Schulte to his face because he will not take it well.
It's one thing if they lose like 10-0. It's like, okay, we lost. We got beaten. Or during their 6-game losing streak, he was like, I have utmost confidence we're going to turn around. He's probably right. They're 8-4 since then. But when you lose in this manner, I get it. You wear it on your sleeve. You're probably going to be defensive. I mean, can you imagine how we would be as managers, Jim? We would bite back at everything. We would say the dumbest thing.
Oh, fuck you, Kevin.
What, dude?
Yeah. Like, what'd you say, Dennis?
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, I can only imagine.
Question, bro.
The other thing, not only did Tony Gwynn get to 3,000 hits, which we found out tonight collectively, the Padres have turned to triple play before. And it actually happened last year.
Do you know what game that was? Because that's crazy. It
did happen because this is a really good question. They have turned to triple play. And I want to say it happened at Dodger Stadium to clinch a playoff spot. But I'm not sure because I haven't seen it in a while.
You know what else happened last year? I don't know if you've seen this.
Tell me what else happened. Don't tell me Jeremiah Estrada recorded 13.
Yes. How'd you know? Bro, how did you know?
50,000 times.
That shit is played over and over and over.
How many times do I need to see Jeremiah Estrada get a plaque at home plate with AJ Preller?
Like, do we have to put this guy in the Hall of Fame for striking out 13 in a row?
Look, can we put 100 of these things together? Can you show me some stuff from 84, 98, 2020, 2022? I mean, give me some other stuff. Give me Jake Cronenworth against the Dodgers.
At least it's not like, I will say, at least it's not that Joe Musgrove Saquon Casino commercial.
God.
That played 7 billion times last year. And every single time I cringed when Joe went for a high five to somebody or went for a fist bump to somebody and the guy gave him a high five.
Oh,
like,
that's the worst.
The awkward, like you go in for the fist bump and then the guy goes for the high five and then you just like do this and the guy like grabs your hand like that. That was played
By the way, is this the
100,000 times
worst
last year.
feeling in the world when it's someone that you're not close with and this happens?
It's
Like
the
if
worst
I
feeling.
did,
It doesn't matter if you're close.
even
to
if you're a friend, if me and you did that, it's the worst feeling in the world.
I would look at you and go, "The fuck is wrong with you?"
If I did that with like our program director, Mary Ayala, I would quit. It would be the most awkward,
like fist bump, bro. And she's like, but here's the question though. Here's the question.
I would lose my mind.
In that situation, who would you not want to be? Would you not want to be the fist bumper or the high fiver?
The high fiver. Why are you wrapping your hand
100%,
around my fist?
100%. I'd rather be the fist bumper than the high fiver because at least the fist bumper, like, you don't feel like
you know what's even worse?
Weird.
Dude? What about what's even worse is the handshake and someone goes in and it's like coming straight on, like as opposed to the fist bump initially, like a handshake.
I've never had that problem before.
You've never had that?
No, I've
never shook a fist.
Oh, I've never shook a fist before.
Oh, you're living good.
I've never done that. My key to this is if I don't know you, I'm waiting for the other person to give me the cue of what they want to do.
Smart.
Because I'm not going to be the first person out there with a fist bump or a handshake or a high five.
It's so awkward.
If I see that person showing a fist bump, I'm like, okay, we're going fist bump here. If I see that person with the open hand, okay, we're going handshake.
I don't know what the word is. Shaken. I was about to say shooken. It sounded like Jim. I've shaken a good 6 to 8 fists.
Yo, I bet you have. That didn't sound right. This is the content you'll get on the wrap-up show, guys. Nowhere else.
A good segue to MOVA gloves.
Perfect segue. Yeah, who's gonna fit? Who's fisting? Only John would fist. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it definitely is white people problems.
It's just my problem, probably.
Well, at least so we work with this. At least you didn't call one of your coworkers a bro today.
Wait, what happened?
At least you didn't call one of your women coworkers a bro today.
Who did that?
I did that.
Who did you call bro?
So Kat, she works.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Why did you call her bro?
She works on Bigger C. She's on Bigger C and Fletch. She's on Rock 105.3. I was walking to the back offices and I was like scratching my eye, and she's walking towards me, and she goes, "Hey," and I go, "Hey, bro."
Dude, that is super awkward.
Or no, I didn't say bro. I said, "Hey, dude." That's what I said. I said, "Hey, dude."
Oh, that's probably going to be the whole premise of their morning show.
And I sat down in the office and I go,
what did I just do?
What the fuck?
And you can't go back. You can't be like, hey.
No, wait. No, I take it back. I didn't say bro or dude. I'm really tired. I said something worse.
No, not possible.
I said something worse because bro and dude.
Wait, did you say honey?
No.
Babe?
I said something. I said something way worse.
What?
I know what I said, "Hey, man."
Hey, man. Oh, that's terrible, dude. What were you thinking?
Hey, man.
Hey,
what?
Man?
Oh my God.
That's the worst.
And it was like the nicest. She was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I go, "Hey, man."
Another thing that's awful is when you've worked with someone for like 10 years and then like you still don't know their name. Like that's me with everyone. And they're like, "Hey, John." I'm like, "Hey." And I say it every day for like 8 straight years.
Dude, I feel bad because like I go to the chiropractor every week.
You don't know the chiropractor's name?
I've been going to this chiropractor for like over like a year. And there's like still some people in that office that I don't know the name of.
Bro, we've been going to work for 10 years. There's people in our office we don't know the name of.
Again, I'm not good with names either. I'm really bad with names.
Yeah, my wife will get mad if I ever say something that isn't like babe. Oops, not about Kay Basano. The wife hates it when I call her dude. Like if I ever say something to Kristen that's like that, she would lose her mind.
If I go, "Hey, Aaron," she'll look at me and go, "Excuse me,
what's wrong?" Same thing with Kristen. I'm like,
yeah,
Kristen.
I can't call Aaron by her name.
I know.
It's either babe, honey, babe.
I think it's how marriages work. Mova Globes, pick one up. Use promo code PWS10 and get 10% off. Great product. Perfect for the baseball fan in your life. All 30 clubs officially licensed, including the Padres. They spin automatically with artificial or natural light. There are no cords. There are no wires. There are no batteries. This company is based in San Diego. This technology was invented right here in North County in San Diego. So make sure to pick one of these up. They've got great products. You can get 10% off. They have so many other globes as well, but they've got all 30 teams officially licensed. Your friends are going to love them. Your family will love them. It's perfect for a home or work office. It's an amazing gift idea for the baseball fan in your life. So click that link in the description down below. Pick up a Mova Globe and use promo code PWS10. That stands for Padres Wrap-Up Show. PWS10 and get 10% off.
Get a Mova Globe today. Use our promo code, as John said. Get one for a desk, get one for a bookshelf, get one for a nightstand, get one for a work desk, get one for just you're a Padres fan. Get one today. Use our promo code PWS10.
I hate awkward interactions like you just referenced.
It's something that I try to avoid at all costs.
Awkward interactions.
Awkward interactions is my biggest nightmare with interacting with people. It's just I'm like, what? Because after I'm done, I'll be like,
yeah, you second guess it.
Not only will I second guess it, it will consume my mind for a good couple of hours.
Yeah,
and maybe longer, depending on how awkward or bad the interaction is.
I'm the same way. I think I'm the same way,
dude. It's
bad. I know.
It's funny. I was watching a TikTok of this wedding, and the bride's walking down the aisle with her dad, and then the dad passes his daughter to the husband, and the husband handshakes the father-in-law, turns to the bride, goes in for a handshake to the bride at their wedding, and she looks at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then he does "Oh, I'm so sorry," and it was caught on film.
It's so funny you say that, because I'm super awkward with what do I do with I'm super awkward with a female. What do I do with Erin on your wedding day? Am I hugging her? But she doesn't want to be touched because of her makeup. So do you
hugs are fine?
But
you do give me some, bro.
No, but some people, when they go in, let's say it's your best friend's wife. Some people go in for forget about a wedding. Let's just say you and Erin are going out with Tommy from home and Tommy's wife, I'm making it up. And are you hugging and kissing Tommy's wife? Some people will kiss a cheek, right?
Actually, I'm taking Tommy's wife back to our house. Hugging and kissing? Who does that?
People do a kiss.
Some, but I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So what's appropriate?
I'm
not saying on the lips, dude.
I don't know shit, but I've learned just let the other person decide what's going to happen in this interaction first. Because if you try to be the first, then most likely they're also going to try too, and then it's going to clash, and it's just going to be awkward.
Yeah, but what happens at the end of the night when okay, Aaron's best friend, they're like, "Oh, sweetie, I'm going to miss you so much," and they embrace for this long hug, Aaron and her friend, and then do you then hug her best friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like everyone's all right, we're done tonight. Just dropping like flies.
I mean, I'm just
this is the show you get after they blow a 5-0 lead, all right? To a team that can't score any runs.
In all honesty, what does tomorrow look like? Because you just lost with Nick Pavetta out there. Is it Cease tomorrow?
Here's the problem with tomorrow, John. You are facing a pitcher that probably is going to give you some problems tomorrow. And that's Robbie Ray, who's 7-1 with a 2.4 ERA.
Okay, so another low scoring, whatever. Yeah.
Very tough lefty. Now, you are throwing Dylan Cease, so that's good. But Tatis against lefties this year, awful.
It's been bad.
You have a bunch of lefties in your lineup with Cronenworth and Merrill and Arise and Gavin Sheets. So, that's going to be probably a problem. Are you going to switch the lineup up tomorrow? You're without now Xander Bogarts, who, again, whatever. But
maybe that's a win. But
still, if you're going to put who's your other shortstop? I mean, I guess you're going to put Jose Iglesias there tomorrow short. Okay. So yeah, you're not taking Merrill out. You're not taking Sheets out. You're not taking Crony out. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 lefties in your lineup tomorrow, and then Tatis can't hit lefties if his life depended on it this year.
Right. He better tomorrow.
So if they lose tomorrow, tonight's game is going to feel even worse.
Also, can Dylan Cease be like vintage? Like I know the 9-run blow up in Sacramento is kind of fake. I'll give him that. That's fine. But thank you, Matt. But like I want to see Dylan Cease go 6 shutout innings. I want to see Dylan Cease go 7 innings, 1 run, especially against the Giants. Like enough of the 6 innings, 3 runs, enough of the 4.66 ERA, which is what he has this year. Like, again, I get it. A lot of it's predicated off that A's start in Sacramento, but not all of it. And he hasn't been vintage to me. He doesn't look like a guy that's about to get $200 million on the other side of the season. I'm sorry, he doesn't. And he's made 12 starts so far this year. So I'm asking Dylan Cease to look like a guy that's about to get paid $200 million tomorrow and go single-handedly win a game for the Padres. Because you're right. Go out-pitch Ray. Go find a way to win a game 2-1 if necessary, and do that behind the strength of Dylan Cease. Like, that's what I'm asking for. And that's what an ace of Dylan Cease's caliber should be capable of providing to the Padres against a shit lineup like the San Francisco Giants.
Well, the thing with Dylan Cease, John, is I know you would love to see him go out there and go 6 shutout. He hasn't had one start this year where he has left the game with giving up 0 runs.
Okay, kind of proves my point.
Every single start this year, he has given up at least 1 run.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. His last 4 starts, 6 2/3, 2 earned runs, 7 innings, 3 earned runs, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 2/3, 3 runs.
Wow.
His ERA in May was 3.71. Not the worst in the world, but
not ace-like.
Not even close to ace-like. So to ask him to go out tomorrow and give you a 6 shutout, well, he hasn't done it one time all year.
Yeah, but he hasn't also faced a single A team.
Well, he faced the A's this year. He's faced Tampa Bay. He's faced the Angels. He's faced Pittsburgh. His Pittsburgh outing was just not good. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, gave up a home run. Not good.
I don't know how to explain it. I mean, on one hand, again, on one hand, they're 35 and 25. On the other hand, I'm like, Dylan Cease hasn't been great. They got pitching injuries. Xander Bogarts.
Shouldn't that be like viewed as like,
I know,
good?
Impressive?
Because there's some guys on the team that aren't doing well and they're still 10 games over?
Yeah, I guess you're probably right. I think you're probably right. That it should be viewed as a positive. But I go back to what I asked Kevin today. Like, is that sustainable?
Do I take back the ace comment from Cease during his Padres tenure? That's all we heard last season.
Say that again?
So he wasn't an ace last year, is what you're telling me?
That's all we heard Jim say last year?
Well, when they got him,
ace.
Well, people were like, oh, he had a 4 ERA with the White Sox. And I'm like, dude, they picked up a guy that's going to give you 180 innings, 200 plus strikeouts. He finished top 2 in Cy Young 2 years prior.
He finished 4th last year.
Yeah, he's ace-like stuff. He was 4th last year in Cy Young voting, threw a no-hitter for the Padres last season.
Yeah, how could you take that back? I mean, if anything, he's just underperforming. He was the 4th best pitcher. Let's just go with that. Let's say he was the 4th best starter in the National League last year. That's a true ace.
Yeah. So, did he shit the bed in the postseason?
Yeah, he was awful in the postseason.
Yeah. Well, guess you know who else shits the bed in the postseason for their team? Clayton Kershaw, and he's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Dylan Cease is Clayton Kershaw. No, I'm not saying that, but I mean, he was an ace. I mean, his year this year is not like last year. Look at his numbers last year. He allowed 137 hits in 189 and a third innings. Okay.
Yeah.
He was 52 fewer hits than innings. This year, his hits to innings are the same. 61 hits, 63 and 2/3 innings. So he has not pitched as well as last year. So it's not about Jim or I taking anything back. He's capable of being ace. He proved it twice in the last 3 years. He's also capable of looking average, which is what he's showing to us right now.
Yep.
You know, so
100%.
that's kind of on Dylan to go be the pitcher that he's about to be paid to be. I mean, he's going to get paid like he's a true ace.
Bro, he has ace material. His stuff
Dude, his stuff is terrific. It's more about like harnessing it. Kevin's written about it. I mean, they've tweaked with some things. I don't know. He's taken something out of his arsenal more recently. I mean, it's pitching in the major leagues. His stuff. It's not his stuff that's the problem. I don't think that's the problem at all. It's about maybe executing his stuff, locating his stuff. That's certainly been an issue at times this year.
right.
Guys, we do want to remind you about Underdog, our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. If you want a free 50% deposit match up to $1,000, make sure to use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP by clicking the link in the description down below. Plus, they'll give you a free gimme pick. What does a free gimme pick look like? It looks like the NBA Finals tomorrow. They're going to give you like a half total point for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If he scores higher than a half total point, you're going to have a winner on that. And then you compare it with like Tyrese Halliburton scoring higher than 17.5 points. If those two things happen, you're a winner in the Pick'em contest. So it couldn't be simpler. It couldn't be easier. You can play across multiple sports, NBA Finals, Major League Baseball, Padres baseball, WNBA, college football, NFL, so on and so forth. So take advantage of that offer, 50% deposit match up to $1,000 plus the free gimme pick by clicking the link in the description down below and using promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP.
Scan the QR code above my head as well to download Underdog Fantasy. And when you download Underdog Fantasy, make sure to use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, and then start playing. NBA Finals tomorrow, so you can parlay some NBA Finals picks. John already has one for tomorrow night that I forced him to do.
He told me he's going to lose. It's not going to win, you idiot.
I know. You just wasted $75. Sorry.
I think they gave it to me somehow.
Must be nice.
All right. Let's join us tomorrow on John and Jim because we'll hear from Mike Schill post-game after Game 4. We'll have the wrap-up show on John and Jim. Is the game's at what, 12:45, Jim? Is that the start time? Is it
yes. 12:45.
Just 12:45. So let's say that game's 2:40. That ends at
3-ish.
3:25.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say it ends at 3:30. We're on the air till 6. So the second the game ends, join us on John and Jim. Find the John and Jim channel. Subscribe to the John and Jim channel. And we break it down like we do here when it's an afternoon game. We'll hear from Schill. We react.
Not the same way, but
I mean, we don't curse. We don't like, exactly, but kind of the same way. So join us tomorrow on John and Jim, and we'll react to a series against the Giants. We'll look ahead to the series upcoming this weekend against the Milwaukee Brewers as well. Please, if you are here with us live or on replay, please subscribe to this channel. We have year-round content for you. Good days, bad days, days in between, in season and out of season. Please smash the like button for us. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. If you're here on replay, thank you for the super thanks as well. Padres and Giants will play Game 4 of their series tomorrow. We will not have a wrap-up show tomorrow night, so join us on John and Jim. We'll be back with the wrap-up show Friday following Padres-Brewers Game 1. Support our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance, Hamul Casino, Mova Globes, SeatGeek, and Underdog Fantasy. For Jim, I'm John. Padres blow a 5-run lead somehow. This has been the wrap-up show. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
It's baseball.